This is a tarot reading on the 9th of September 2025 using the Tarot of the Abyss deck by Anne Turin. I pulled 6 cards at random with a blank mind and see what happens. First card we have is Awakening, that's number 20. The woman rises as a phoenix from the ashes, having completed her arduous journey of metamorphosis and growth. Her outgrown former self, lying empty beneath her, is nothing more than an empty hollow husk. She bears no more guilt or burdens. She has risen victorious to the new phase of life. The woman is still exhausted from having completed her journey of change and growth. She embraces a new self, exploring her wings in freedom and liberation. She is poised, gathered her strength for whatever challenges and opportunities lie ahead. The Awakening card, formerly Judgment, invites you to take note of your life's objectivity, to step back and consider how much you've grown and learned. You may be getting to the point where you've outgrown certain relationships or jobs, and certain chapters in your life may be drawing to a close. Perhaps you are reluctant to complete the final metamorphosis. No doubt, comfort and stability can be appealing. However, sometimes life has other plans for us when we try to cling to the past. You may be reaching an important milestone, and is often the case. It comes with major decisions or changes. If you have been feeling down or in need for forgiveness, the Awakening card will bring solace and reintegration. Be prepared and be like the butterfly. Take your time to regenerate, but get ready to fly and soar. The Wise One, number 5. The Wise One is traditionally known as the Hierophant. In this card, he represents a spiritual healer, the shaman. We witness the exchange between the healer and his people, a sacred moment when he's passing down his knowledge and wisdom. Tradition is important to him. Something that has taken generations to acquire and master cannot be achieved through the solitude or isolation. The fire is burning bright, and with its heat, its warmth, their souls, and lights the path of enlightenment. When this card appears, know that perhaps some spiritual guidance is coming your way. There may be many forms through which this knowledge may come into your life, perhaps through a counsellor or a spiritual mentor. However it may be, guidance is coming your way. The Wise One is a card of doctrine and of spiritual tradition, and at its core, tradition in general is passed down and continues living within the group setting. Perhaps you've been searching for a group of spiritually minded people to connect with. If spiritual doctrine is not your cup of tea, then a good balance would come through incorporating some aspects of tradition to your spiritual practice, things that could become ritual, that could feed your soul. Queen of Swords. The Queen of Swords rests her head contemplatively upon the hilt of her sword, allowing its metallic coolness to centre and still her. She makes use of that stillness to channel the knowledge emanating from the sphere of light affixed to the sword's pommel. She is introspective and reflective, characteristics indicated of a strong queen. There are times when she must be as still as night, yet as swift as an arrow in her decision-making. The Queen of Swords rules her head first and her heart second, reason trumping her emotional yearnings. Yet she bears a certain wistfulness. Hers is the burden of leadership, of making the difficult, often unpopular decisions that nobody wants to make, yet everyone expects of an effective ruler. Hers is the burden of putting her public responsibility above the private desires. It is no easy burden to bear, and there are times when it leaves her feeling very alone. In those moments of despair and despondency, she returns to the safety and security of her faithful blade, the keen and piercing intellect and indomitable will that will have always safeguarded her on her journey through the twists and turns of a mysterious labyrinth. Regardless of how unpleasant it may be, the Queen of Swords must always face the truth in a situation with dignity and poise. Many people find this to be too much, preferring instead for the truth to be shrouded or silenced in order to spare their feelings. The Queen is afforded no such luxury. Likewise, there are times when we have to harness the energy of the Queen of Swords, revealing truths to others they don't want to hear or are presently incapable of seeing. Alternatively, there are times when we ourselves may have someone in our own lives who is embodying the energy of the Queen, showing us aspects of ourselves that we don't particularly wish to acknowledge. True friends are there to comfort and care for us. However, they also play the essential role of pointing out our poor choices or faulty judgments. If you are being called upon to play the part of the Queen of Swords, remember that it's not just what you say, but how you say it. By phrasing and framing your critiques constructively, you are much more likely to have your message heard. Alternatively, if a dear friend or trusted companion is presently pointing out possible lapses of judgment on your part, have the courage and trust to at least consider their point of view. 8 of Swords. The 8 of Swords deals with the idea of perception and perspective. I chose to illustrate this card as if you're looking from above, because seeing an objective point of view is particularly important with this card. We see a young girl wrapped in ribbons, so much that she can only see out of one eye where the ribbon has fallen away. The only part of her that is without constraint is her wild flowing hair, or at least this is how it appears at first glance. A closer look at her situation reveals she is not as tightly bound as she may feel. The swords that at first appear to fence her in are in fact laying flat on the floor around her. To extricate herself, all she needs to do is step around them. The 8 of Swords speaks to the idea of feeling trapped and powerless. It can show up when we feel lost, alone, or with no way out of a situation, whether it is a dead-end job or a loveless relationship. Regardless of the situations, one fact remains the same: you become conditioned and complacent, so much so that you are no longer seeing things objectively. Acting the victim won't get you out of it, nor is waiting for someone to rescue you. Scan your surroundings for an exit point. You may very well realise that all you have to do is remove your blindfold and choose to step out of the situation. 3 of Cups. Yes, of course you're invited to the party. The 3 Cups is one of the most welcoming cards in a tarot deck. The card depicts 2 women, one young and one older, toasting with you, the reader. A toast is a moment of happiness and storytelling, of humour and hope. The idea of toasting is one that is familiar in most cultures, and it speaks of celebration and calling in those things we wish to have in life. Whatever the structure of the toast, one thing is always true: it is joy multiplied by the number of people sharing it with you in the room. Now is the time to have fun and enjoy social gatherings. The 3 of Cups is a card of community. It speaks of feeling like you are part of a crowd, about feeling embraced by your community. You may soon attend a party or event. This is not a humdrum work event, rather it is a gathering of the heart. If you have nothing like this planned, this card may be trying to tell you that you need a little bit more of fun in your life. Spice it up. Take some time to decompress and enjoy yourself in the company of good friends. 9 of Pentacles. A silver-haired woman of dignity and grace stands surrounded by life and plenty in her garden. She cradles a delicate finch in her hands, a Native American symbol of joy and happiness. On her head she wears a silver band of 9 pentacles. The peace and equanimity she radiates indicates that she is someone who has achieved her goals in life. The warm smile on her lips shows that she is not afraid of what tomorrow will bring. The 9 of Pentacles speaks of self-reliance and goals achieved. Most often we gain this confidence and success with age. The woman in the card has earned the right to be exactly who she chooses to be. She may or may not be wealthy, but it doesn't matter either way. Hers is not so much a material wealth as a spiritual one. Her goals accomplished, she can now focus on more personal and spiritual pursuits. You too can be like her. Discover the simple joy in what you have achieved and the fact that you don't have to worry at this time.